Be curious like it's the first time you've even touched a body. Smelling him, finding the food and treating his sense of taste.
I woke up this morning thinking Carly and I were going to go to a love guru.
Chris, you're going to come around the hips and go into her thighs.
Turns out, I think she's not a love guru, she's a sex guru.
She's a groundbreaking love and intimacy mentor who has created a unique practice that blends the spiritual, sexual, and sensual all in one. You might recognize her from a popular TV show. She has most recently been called America's Love Guru by ABC's hit show, The Bachelor, where she did an awakening intimacy intensive with The Bachelor, Chris Soules, and his date. We want to welcome Sephora Kingsbury to our set to share some advice for couples who want more intimacy in their relationship, especially with Valentine's Day right around the corner. Welcome, Sephora. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, so first, tell me about your methods. How do you increase intimacy in couples?
Yeah, so a couple key points. It takes emotional clarity, so clearing old emotional patterns. It takes getting present in our bodies and being aware of what our body needs, and developing different communication skills so they can actually get to know each other at a whole different level.
Sounds good to me, but how do you make this happen?
Yeah. So through a series of processes, I work with clients from 3 to 6 months, and they go through different processes to clear the emotional patterns, through coaching to uncover the blind, unconscious patterns that are interfering with the way they interact in their life, and to learn new skills to start to apply to their relationships.
And you do that with some breath work and also yoga practices?
I use a particular breath work called integrative breath work, and what that does is it allows us to breathe in a certain way to actually go into the cellular memory where we have suppressed old emotional patterns from our childhood, from our life, and to actually clear them on a permanent basis. And that allows people to feel more vitality, it allows people to act different in their life and to feel more intimately engaged.
Are we talking about like those emotional triggers where your spouse or significant other could upset you, but it's what they're doing isn't that bad, but it's triggering something in your past, right?
Absolutely, and so they get to the point that realizing that their emotions are their emotions and it has nothing to do with their partner. And now they can actually start to understand each other's patterns without pointing the finger and blaming each other for it.
Must be liberating.
Empowering, liberating, yes.
Do you have like one of your greatest success stories you could share with us?
My favorite, actually, someone who came to me, great, amazing surfer. He wanted to be a better lover. And what he uncovered was that there was a fear of being vulnerable. That was getting in the way of him having that intimacy because he didn't know how to talk about it. No one ever told him how to communicate these very raw feelings that so often we hide. And the outcome of that is he found a relationship, found him that actually met him in this conscious, mindful way. His surfing became top of the game, better than he had ever experienced.
And what about his relationship with his significant other?
His relationship was extraordinary, right? So now they were communicating differently. They were experiencing life differently together.
What I picked up on just now is not only does these methods affect your relationships, but it generalizes into all areas of your life. You know, your career, your relationship with your friends and whatnot.
Yeah, and that's like intimacy for me doesn't just have to do with the relationship that we're in. Intimacy to me is how are we having a conversation with someone else? How are we washing the dishes? How are we going on our walks or exercising? How present and aware are we to those experiences? And that's intimacy.
Does it also increase passion?
Yes, and I'm going to say because we are now more in tune with our bodies, we're more in tune with our turn on, we're more in tune with knowing what we want and what we need, so that strikes up creativity and passion in us.
Do you know a way to simplify how this creates new neuron pathways with the breath work and the practices, the methods that you're doing?
Simplifying, you know, it definitely relaxes the nervous system. it starts to, those triggers end up dissipating, so they're no longer there, so they're no longer in our neural pathways, and so we can go into the same experience, and because we're more present and aren't looking through eyes of the past, so to speak, we can actually hear people more. We're more relaxed.
And that's with the breath work. And
Correct.
Okay, that's perfect. And you do that, one of it was, because I watched you on The Bachelor, you did a great job, by the way, but you had them in a yoga position and the breathing technique. Can you describe that more?
Which position do you recall?
They were she was straddling him. I don't know how else to say it.
She was, and that's called the yab-yum position, is when the woman sits on top of the man. And what starts to happen is they start to circulate their breath. If you visualize a circle with the breath rising up from the tailbone up and then back down again. And so all they were doing is breathing together and syncing up their breath, which again relaxed the mind. It actually brought them into their hearts. It brought them into their body, so they might have felt turned on, they might have felt energy there, they might have felt emotions, which was beautiful because now they were more in tune with each other, more open.
I love it. It seemed like they were having a good time. I mean, you could really see them get intimate, and they were really affected by it. How was your experience on The Bachelor?
I loved it, and I'm excited about it because to bring these subjects that are so often pushed under the carpet or not talked about to the masses in such a way, and they were awesome to do this with.
Have you been able to mend marriages through these practices?
I have been able to change the quality of the relationship in the marriage. So sometimes it's not about mending. Sometimes it's just finding what I call right relationship, but it is about finding peace. I had a couple who came to me, 13 years they've been married. They've lost the sense of intimacy. All they felt like they were best friends, but not intimate. Their cell phones were always on. They came to me, and after one session, they looked at each other and they're like, wow, it feels like the first day I've ever met you.
Aww, you brought love back. And not love, because people can still love each other and be roommates, right? You
Correct.
brought, they're in love again.
Yes.
Thank you so much for stopping by. Great tips, great tips.
Thank
Just in
you.
time for Valentine's Day. Now, if you want more intimacy tips and advice from Sephora, just visit her website at sephoraintimacy.com. Have a great day.